It's the Brian and Kindra Show with Brian Cook and Kindra Cox of Keller Williams Realty Elite.
I am Kindra Cox.
I'm Brian Cook.
Between the two of us, we have over 30 years of experience.
Sharing real estate tips and advice. Right here on Classic Hits 1073.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good evening.
Yeah, it is Thursday.
The Brian and Kindra Show.
We're live.
I wasn't sure if you knew what you were doing for a minute.
Well, it's been one of those days.
And you just said you got it, and then you stopped talking. I got to do what?
I don't remember. Was I talking?
I don't know if you're talking to me or if you're just talking at me.
To myself.
Jeez.
Well, we are here on the radio today.
It's like we're live again. How long has it been, Branson? How long has it been?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
That's a long time.
And so, it's been a holiday season.
Man, we holidayed a lot.
We did. It felt like it.
We holidayed a lot by all that food in our office.
Yes.
Oh, my Lanta.
Man. So it's been an interesting...
Speaking of food, let's talk about you. Hey, did you about die on your way to the office? On the way to the station?
I haven't eaten anything all day, really. And so we had a vegetable tray in the fridge, so I just grabbed the whole tray and think, I'll just eat this. This will be all right. About halfway here, I get a carrot stuck in my throat.
And what is the truth about the matter?
A
donut would never do that to you, Brian.
That's probably right. There was no donuts in the refrigerator, though.
All right, so did you try that dip?
The dip that's all gone?
Oh, really? Did you eat it? Is that
In
you?
the vegetable dip?
Yeah.
I ate it all yesterday.
You did? Was it good?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, I wonder. I picked it up. I didn't try any of it.
Oh, yeah, I don't know, just ate it.
I just ate it. You don't really taste things, do you? You should have somebody else taste it. Okay, so we're back from our holidaying. And Branson, you're back from your holidaying. Where did you go? Oh, I asked Branson a question.
Oh, sorry. I'm ready now.
Okay, where did you go?
I went to Red River.
You did?
Yeah.
I bet that was beautiful.
Did
Keep
Skiing.
going to the mountains. Do you like the mountains or something?
I do.
We're laughing because a minute ago, Brian says, I bought a new house. Where'd you buy a house? West, like Colorado? Yeah, don't do that to me, buddy. That's not funny.
Just get a vacation home over there.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Except I don't know what a vacation is.
I do. I think I could help utilize it. All right, so what else have we got going on?
So I did buy a house, which is fun. So we'll get to, I'm in the process, learning.
So you're like remembering how fun it is to be a buyer right now.
Yes.
Would you say that it's a little stressful for buyers?
I'm a different style of buyer.
I just rolled my eyes. They almost got stuck in the back of my head.
Yeah.
I think that buying and selling a house can be very stressful.
It can be.
And so pretend like you're a normal person. Pretend like you're a human.
Then there would be, yes.
If you would please get out of your robot mode. Okay, so it can be a little stressful.
It could be. The anxiety of, when are we going to close? How are we going to move? Do we sell our house? How do we get our house ready to sell? Luckily, I don't have to sell my house to buy this house.
Right.
Which makes life way substantially easier.
So how many of our buyers in we touched 119 sides in 2020. How many of those sides did not have to sell one house to buy another? 3?
Not very many.
Not very many. So
Not very
that's
many.
not typical.
Right.
And so, that creates a lot of anxiety.
Yes.
To have to sell one property in order to purchase another one.
Yep.
And so we're going to talk about some different things today. We're not going to focus a whole lot on that, but we're going to talk about the buyer side. We're going to talk a little bit. Hopefully, if we get to it, we'll talk about the seller side.
Yep.
But first, the market report.
Ooh, I've got one.
I meant to ask you to do like a fun 2020 thing and give us a synopsis. A synopsis? That's the wrong word.
Like this one?
I meant to. Oh, did you do it? Did you read my mind?
Or
Is
you
that
read
a
mine.
2020 synopsis?
This is the 2020 end-all market statistics.
Awesome. Let's hear it.
Okay, so
What happened in 2020?
what happened? Well, we
Oh
sold.
my gosh. Don't tell us
sold
everything.
a bunch of stuff. There were 200 properties sold, which is really 200 properties, so that's really 400 sites.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Very good.
So, and the majority of them were residential. So out of the 200, 174 were residential. There were no 0 and 1 bedrooms sold. There were 130 2 and 3 bedrooms sold, 44 4 bedrooms, and then land and commercial and multifamily. So, obviously the majority of our houses that we do sell are the 2 to 3 bedroom. The average List price was 148 and average sold price was 140. So our average sales price of homes in the 2 to 3 bedroom was 140,000. The average in the 4 bedroom was 212,000.
Which makes sense because most of our 4 bedrooms are larger.
Larger home.
Yes, much larger home. Okay, so 148,000 was the
Average
for the 3 bedroom houses. Is that typical or is that? I think that's a little high.
It's a little higher than, because our average a couple years ago was that would count your 2 and 3 bedrooms that had sold in there. I think our average, the last time I checked, which might have been a year, maybe 2, maybe 7 a year.
Oh no, you don't know what you're saying.
So
That
I remember
seems a
the last
little-
time
that
I
seems to just,
figured it was like
shade up.
130 was the last.
That's what I was
average
thinking
sales
too.
price. So
Awesome. Well, that looks good for
it
Woodward.
does look good for Woodward. So we have this anticipation that the market is declining, and it's not. So according to our regular statistics, we only have 63 houses on the market, which is the lowest
That is insane.
we've had in over a year.
It's the lowest we've had in a long time.
All year, this is the lowest. It's also been the
Oh,
highest.
you smart mouth. This
But
is
all
January
last year-
7th, isn't it?
All last year, this is substantially lower. There's
Okay,
only-
but for reals, like 63, I can't remember a time that we've had this low for this long. Like, it's nice right now.
I mean, I feel like my problem is so I was out showing houses today, and I couldn't find them what they want.
Right.
So for 3 days, I've been showing them houses. Today was showing them only houses that are not on the market.
Right. Which is tough. I mean, you're knocking on doors. Hey, you want to sell your house?
Yeah. Which is annoying
So
sometimes.
if you guys
for
have
guys.
a $200,000 price range home,
Yeah, we need to
Brian's going to be knocking on your door.
soon. So here's what's crazy. No houses went under contract in the last 7 days in Northwest Oklahoma, which has been a weird time. It's New Year's, which we didn't have that.
That's not for lack of trying though. I mean, I've done a net sheet. We've had an offer come in from a different agent, and I did a net sheet and sent out. We've done some counter offering.
Yeah, just haven't got something put
Just
together.
can't get it together.
Only 3 new listings. We're down to 26 pending. That's the lowest it's been all year, last year even. So yeah, it's we have 4.75 months of inventory. So our market's really good. Same amount of buyers as sellers. So but it's getting to that point now where we need some inventory. And the one thing I noticed when our market got to 100 houses, things picked up because I think people had choices.
But it's
When you don't have a
exciting to
choice, it's just
in
like,
Woodward.
well, I'm not going to move then. Well, if there's like me, we weren't even looking for houses, and this one just kind of popped out, and it's like, I think we can make this work. And so we're moving because it hit the market. I mean, it hit the market, but I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if there were more options, I think we would have more buyers, and if you have more buyers, then they're going to sell their homes, and I think the thing just explodes, snowballs.
Snowballs. I think that's probably the term for
Yes.
it. So,
So let's have a quick break.
and then we're going to talk about how to
Getting
get
ready.
ready to buy a home.
Homeowners and business owners. Do you want to know how to extend the life of your home or commercial building? Call APC LLC in Woodward. APC specializes in installing high-quality 5-inch and 6-inch seamless guttering and custom commercial guttering. Whether it's a small system or a large system, APC can help. Call APC LLC at 580-571-2384. That number again is 580-571-2384 for all your seamless gutter needs.
Our home is usually our largest investment, and we insure it against damage. One unseen destructive force not covered by most insurance policies is termites, which can infest a house for years before being detected. Termites cost U.S. homeowners an estimated $5 billion annually in treatment and repairs. Using the Centricon termite bait system, JCP Services can protect your home from the threat of a termite infestation. Call 580-334-5380. Again, 580-334-5380.
Stop in to Modern Appliance on Main Street today to see powerful Maytag brand kitchen appliances available in a finish inspired by cast iron. Cast iron black is a hard-working, matte finish that is as tough as it is timeless, so you can trust it to help resist scratches while helping hide fingerprints and minor dents and stand up to the everyday. Add an iconic look to your home with cast iron black kitchen appliances from Maytag brand. See it at Modern Appliance, 2102 Main, or online at modernappliancewoodward.com.
For 150 years, Sherwin-Williams has been an industry leader in the development of technologically advanced paint and coatings. As the nation's largest specialty retailer of paint and painting supplies, Sherwin-Williams is dedicated to supporting both your do-it-yourselfers and painting professionals with exceptional products, resources to make confident color selections, and expert personalized service that's focused on your unique project needs. Sherwin-Williams is your neighborhood paint store. Stop by and see them, 2101 Oklahoma Avenue, or call them 580-256-5861. Hey, we're back, and we're talking about goal setting. Not really, but that's kind of what spurred my
Hey,
thoughts.
let's talk about goal setting.
Are we going to talk about goal setting?
No, but really fast, because every year you're like, what's our goal? Like, you're always like pushing me for goals. Like, before I worked for you, push me for goals, and it just irritates the heck out of me, because I'm not a very good goal setter. Like, you know that.
But you were on it this year.
Man, this year I came in, I'm like, well, you didn't even respond to me. I texted you on New Year's Eve.
I know. I was
Hey,
like,
what's our goal this year? Nothing. I'm like,
Pitched to
for
my phone.
real? So, like, we get back to work on Monday. I don't even know what the date was. And I was like, hey, what's our goal? And you still are like, I don't know. It's
I
not.
wanted to change it.
You're just being kind of hateful. Finally, I'm like, I have goals. I wrote my goals on my board. And you're like, those don't have numbers. They don't count. So I just made up numbers. But I got goals, y'all.
Yes. So, yeah, you got to have a target.
So my target is to do better for our buyers and sellers in our transactions.
So, yeah.
But I've got specifics. Like, I think they're SMART goals. I learned that in school. I don't have a clue what it means. I can't remember. But okay. All right. So goals to help you buy your first home.
So,
I gave you the wrong one. I don't think you're going to like that. Here,
so in
trade me.
2020, if you're looking to buy a home in 2021, it's not 2021. In 2021,
Yeah,
if you want to buy a
get that
home,
right, man.
then things you need to start thinking about in advance. So number one, they're not numbered, but number one, it's always about your finances. That's the thing you got to start working on first. Is make sure your credit is worthy. You want to, and there's some places you can call. You can check your credit on.
I use Credit Karma. It's really easy for me, and so I've got it even as an app on my phone. So I get this little alert once in a while that says, "Hey, Kindra, your score's gone up," or "Hey, Kindra, you're eligible for new credit cards," or whatever the thing is, and then I can just check it. But so twofold. One, it helps me to see my credit and where it's at, and so then I have an idea if I want to purchase something, I can be like, my credit scores are on this, so what is my interest going to be? But twofold, it helps me to see if there's any kind of weird stuff going on. Like, that's not mine. Why do I have this on my credit report? So it's a little bit of both for me.
It's interesting. Like mine went
But it's
down.
free and it
Right.
helps.
So I haven't monitored my credit in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
One of my credit cards sends me stuff every now and then, but like I applied for this home loan to buy my home, and my credit had dropped like 55 points.
Because why? Do you know why?
I didn't look it up yet, but I'm assuming it's because I bought a truck.
So it's tricky.
Right.
Because it could be because you pay off a vehicle, or
Right.
it can be because so whenever I pay off debt, my credit score a lot of times actually will go down.
Right.
Because you have to have debt in order to have good credit. And that seems so backward. I mean, you always think, but if I pay cash for everything, doesn't that make me more valuable? Well, on credit, it doesn't particularly make me more valuable.
Credit is how well you
So-
borrow money, not how well you pay
Yes.
for things, but how well you borrow money.
How will you pay it back?
Yes, borrow and pay it back.
Yes. So yes, very interesting. So if my debt is too great, then I'm a risk and it could go down. Or if my debt is too little, I'm considered a
Right.
risk and it can
Which
go
I
down.
also switched companies. I started a new company, and so our credit card stuffs have switched.
Right.
So I think there's a lot of like we've shut credit cards down, we've opened credit card. I think there's some
Right.
stuff in there that really shouldn't have affected my credit, but I've shut some accounts off and I opened new accounts. I think that affects your credit, even though nothing financially has changed in my life. It's just there's been a change in
Right.
accounting.
So let's talk about that. So that was something that I had to change because I had like a department store credit card in my name, but my other credit card was underneath my ex-husband's name. So whenever we divorced and I needed to be removed from that card, my credit dropped like significantly. And I was like, what the heck? Because what was funny was mine had always been a little bit higher, even though most of the things had been in his name. Mine had always just been a little bit higher. And so the minute that my name was removed from that card, my credit score dropped. I think it was like 40. Do you remember? I worked for you. It was like 40 points or something. It was kind of insane. And so to build that back up, I opened my own credit card again. And so they recommend like the Visa, Discover, MasterCard. I'm like totally having this little brain problem that I
Jeez.
have. I can't come up with it. So I got a Capital One card, and I don't use it unless I'm like on vacation, really. But the best practice, they say, is to keep just a very small amount on that credit card. I don't know why I keep looking at you today, Branson. Like, Branson's like, stop, you're a little intense.
Okay,
I just
got
need
this.
an audience, okay? Okay, so, anyway, so they say to just, Connie told us to keep, what, 30%? Is that what she said? Do
So
you
keep
remember?
it under 30.
Connie at Bank 7 had given us an idea of how much. And
Maybe that's what affected mine. I bought $12,000 worth of fireworks on my credit card.
maybe. So maybe when you pay that off, it'll jump back
Jump
up
back
again. So it wasn't very long though. I mean, within a few months, my credit was back up to where, to the threshold that almost at the threshold I'd had it at. And now on my own, independently with my mortgage, and with my own credit card, it's way back up higher than it was even before. And it was already very respectable. So credit card, but don't go crazy. Like, so as I'm saying this, we have daughters the same age.
Yep.
So my daughter doesn't have a credit card yet. I sent her a link today and said, we need to talk about this. It's time for you to get a card so we can get, because her credit is raising just with her student loans. But I would like her to really start to establish, I know she has home ownership on her brain. Your daughter, she tricked you, didn't she? Not like tricked you bad, like
No.
just out of the blue, she says what?
I've got 3 or 4 credit cards and a 7-something credit score. Wow.
This little 21-year-old girl, almost 21, she turns
Yeah.
21 this month or next
Yeah.
month or something.
April.
Okay, so, man, they're the exact same age. I get mixed up. Okay, so Ashlyn, she had told you she just kept putting something on each one every month and paying it
Yeah.
off. Isn't that what she was doing?
Something like that, yeah.
And so she's drastically improved her credit score, probably from no credit all the way up to 770. That's phenomenal.
Yep.
So, but discipline, because too much is not good.
Right. Get out of hand real quick.
Oh boy.
So, next, so credit's a big deal. If your goal is this year to buy credit or buy a house, then I would contact either your credit card people, or not your credit card people. Get your credit report, or go buy a lender. Let's go ahead and get you in touch with the lender.
Absolutely.
And then when you're talking to them, like Connie Rowland down at Bank 7, if you're talking to her, she has decades of experience.
She does. She's got a wealth of information.
Credit stuff. So if you go in there and there's a difference in your interest rate between a 720 and an 800, you get better credit score. You get better interest rates on your loans and mortgages. So, so even what's crazy on the one I'm looking at is they qualified me for a 2.125% interest rate on a 15-year mortgage.
Even with your crappy credit score?
I know.
Just kidding.
So,
I just still, I mean, we talked about this a few months ago when I refinanced. I just cannot believe how low our interest rates are.
yeah.
I mean,
it's
my
crazy.
first house, and always have had respectable credit scores. My first mortgage was over 8%.
I was 11.5.
Oh my gosh! And now, like, we think about that, and I just want to throw up. Like,
I'm like,
can I say
wow.
throw up on the radio?
Yes.
Can
sure.
I say it again? Just kidding.
Go for it.
Like, really, I mean, it's horrible to think
Yeah.
about because you lose so much of your buying power because of the interest. And, I mean, this is a phenomenal time
yeah.
to purchase a home or refinance. We've talked to a few different people lately about refinancing.
Yeah, so my house, I mean, I'm moving up, and like my house payment's going to stay the same, and I'm buying it.
That is awesome.
So-
Okay, so that's the next step, is to kind of figure out what kind of a house you can afford,
Yes.
what price payment you can afford. And that's where you really need to be in touch with a good mortgage, with a good mortgage company. And we talk a lot about Bank 7 here. They're one of our sponsors, but just rock star lenders, lots of years under their belt, and just the knowledge and care about people. And so we'd love to help you get in touch with
Yes.
one of them. What's next?
No, see, I skipped ahead. That's check your credit. I did that.
Oh, it's okay. I knew you weren't going to go in order.
So,
But really, that is in order, so I don't know why
It
that
is.
wouldn't be first.
yep.
Okay, so next up, down payments. This gets really tricky. A lot of our buyers think that they have to have 20% down payment. Is that true?
Absolutely not.
I can't. I mean, we had very few actually last year that had a 20% down payment.
Very,
The
very
majority
few.
of our buyers are buying a home with the 0 down payment,
USDA, which is fantastic. program.
3.5% down payment,
Mhm.
FHA. A lot of people think FHA is for first-time home buyers. That's not accurate.
Is that true?
That is, so these are based off of our income. and our dependents, those kinds of things. So,
Yep.
so really, a lot of people can do an FHA loan.
Correct.
That's very helpful. 3.5% down payment. VA is 0%. But there are actually different loan programs with a conventional loan. So there are actually even 3% down payment conventional loans, up to as many percent down payment as you want. So there's a lot of different options. So I think what is really tricky are closing costs. It costs money to borrow money. And I noticed that whenever I started real estate, people didn't understand that. So whenever I'd give them their estimate of expense and I pushed that paper across the desk, like I wanted to hide, like don't throw anything at me, I'm not the lender. It costs money to borrow money. So we're
Yes.
looking usually at $6,000 to $8,000 of closing cost.
Right, and you think it adds up quick, but you got actually you got a 15 months worth of insurance.
Right?
You've prepaid part of your taxes. So there's a lot of prepaid money in that payment
Right.
that is accruing so that you are on top of it when it comes to paying next year's insurance and next year's taxes.
But this is separate from the down payment. Like this is
Right.
literally just
Oh, yes.
closing costs.
Just
So this
closing
is something
costs.
you've really got to pay attention to and be prepared for, be saving for. And then also your down payment if you're going to have one.
Yes. So I was on the phone. I'm actually showing the house right after we get done here. And the individual that I'm showing the house to, he bought one just a year ago. And his circumstances are changing and he needs a little bit larger home. And he said, well, you think you can get me into a house for another $100 again? So he bought his house with less than $100.
Wow.
And I forgot about it. He said, yeah, I paid for my appraisal up front, and I paid the earnest money up front. Well, they didn't use earnest money because it was a friend deal. We helped him in the transaction. But he paid for his inspection, and then he paid for his appraisal, and then he got his money back at closing.
Was this one of our customers?
Yes.
I don't even remember this.
Yes.
It was a really long year, you
It was
guys.
the neighbor. The neighbor bought the neighbor's house.
Yeah, okay, I slept since then. All right, so does that happen very often that you get in for $100?
It can happen. So, it can happen because USDA will allow the seller to pay 6% of your closing costs. 6% of the sales price in closing, which is about a $100,000 house. That's $6,000. That covers all your
Right.
closing costs. The
Most of them.
Most. Well, up to $100 on his.
I know, but not every time, so I don't want
I'm
you to
just saying,
promise
it's
that.
just- I'm not
Y'all
promising
listen
it.
to me. Listen to me.
I'm just saying it's been done before.
It has been done, but not every time, so don't
No.
bank on it.
Right.
So whenever I do that estimate, I always say, I want this to be your worst case scenario, because when you go to closing, I want you to be like, dang, I'm glad she was wrong.
Right.
I never want you to be like, oh my gosh, she was wrong. So
Yeah.
don't set me up for
I'm
failure.
not. So, but my concern with those USDA loans is this exact deal right here.
Yeah.
So he wants to sell his home, and he just bought it a year ago, and we probably are not.
Equity gets tricky.
Equity's going to get tricky. I'm not sure we can get him out.
Okay, so on this article that I printed off, I have no idea where I found this. Under money under 30, and it actually says a lot of people disagree, but the author of this says that a lot of people view their home as an investment. He does not view your home as an investment. You wanna argue with me?
Well, I could. Which side do you mean to pick?
Well, we both know that you're gonna say it is because yours have been.
Right. Well, and
You have bought well and you've sold well.
if you stay in your house 30 years and pay the mortgage off, you will have something.
So that is why you can say that every home is an investment
I think
because you're banking on 30 years.
it's forcing you to make a payment. It actually keeps you from bouncing around like a rental property. You may bounce every 2 years.
Yes.
Some people I know, but which is expensive to move. Like
It is very expensive.
I'm
to move.
budgeting my move, which is very stressful. Like it's going to cost me $2,000 to $3,000 to pay someone to move me because I'm not lifting anything. I'm gonna
Which is great because I don't have to hear him whine in the office about
Then
his
I got to
back
pay
hurting.
someone to paint because my wife doesn't like the color, and then our furniture is not going to match anymore. I'm going to sell my car. I mean, it just adds up.
You got to sell some of your kids too. I
Something,
mean,
man.
really.
Sure, why we're buying a bigger house when they're all graduating. But
Oh, do we have to go through that again? So they'll come home at Christmas. Oh, my
that's why we
Lanta.
bought this. This is the grandkid house.
Perfect.
So
Okay, so your home is your investment.
yes,
Especially
other hand-
if we stay there a long time. So we've talked about this. Like, I have not bought as well or sold as well. So I guess I don't know if my last house was an investment. I really wasn't a part of that sale. But I mean, like really, the last 3 houses that I've my house currently is probably not an investment. If I keep it for 30 years, it will be. And my house now would be an excellent rental.
Right.
But I mean, if I sell it next year, I'm not going to get anything out of it.
No, you'll just break even. But
I
it comes back to the security.
I really hope.
The security of the home and not having to move.
And I get to have my dog, Teddy Roosevelt.
So the reason it's not an investment, it's an investment in your family, not financial.
Oh, so different types of investments.
I believe it creates less anxiety having to not think about moving. I don't have to stress about the owner selling my house.
Right.
I mean, it's a different investment.
Absolutely. Okay, well, that makes sense. Okay, we probably need to take a little break.
Oh my gosh,
and then we will be right back.
Comfort Zone is a multi-generational company serving Northwest Oklahoma in commercial and residential needs. Plumbing, air conditioning, heaters, refrigeration, sewer and drain cleaning, backhoe trencing, and crane service. And they are your geothermal specialists. Contact them at 580-254-5864 or stop by 116 East Main Street.
It's the 5 hours you spend in the kitchen mastering your famous recipe or spending quality time with your family. Other insurance companies may just see it as a house. It's not just a house, it's your home. Hi, I'm State Farm Agent Kevin Kanzler, and I see your home as the time and memories you put into them. I understand what your things really mean to you, and I'm here to help give them the protection they deserve. My office is located on the corner of 13th and Oklahoma and Woodward, or call me at 580-256-2216 for your home insurance today.
On Point Land Survey can take care of all your residential, commercial, and industrial survey needs. This family-owned and operated business proudly serves Northwest Oklahoma and Southwest Kansas. These lifelong Northwest Oklahoma residents with over 19 years of experience are ready to serve you with the latest equipment and capable trucks to get your job done. Call On Point Land Survey today at 580-256-6757 or at 1918 Main Street in Woodward, Oklahoma, or visit their website at onpointlandsurveyok.com. Professional, trusted, local.
This is Todd McHugh
and Jackie Jones
with Woodward County Abstract, Dewey County Abstract, and Fairview Abstract. I would like to thank everyone in Woodward and Northwest Oklahoma for choosing us for their real estate title and closing needs this past year. We will be offering new services in 2020, including bilingual closings, internet closings, and digital abstracting.
We look forward to making real estate closings faster, simpler, and more efficient for you in the future.
We want to thank you for your continued support and business.
Hi, I'm Connie Rowland in the Mortgage Department at Bank 7. Bank 7 is a full-service bank with over 40 years of combined experience. Melinda Russo and I are a dynamic duo team committed to making your loan process smooth. With a variety of loan products, we would love to sit down with you and discuss your loan options in person, or we offer online and over-the-phone application processing. The Woodward branch is located at 34th in Oklahoma. Find us online at mortgage.bank7.com, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Bank 7 is an equal housing lender in MLS 677297. Phone 580-254-0100, where our best investment is you.
Okay, we're back. And so Sherwin-Williams just had their little, what is that? Their little commercial thing?
Yeah.
So the other day you sent me like this picture from Sherwin-Williams. What were you doing? Oh, because you're painting another house right now, too.
We're in the middle of 2-3 projects.
We are. So, which is kind of the cool thing that you're really good at. So we've got some buyers that were like, I love this house, but I hate every color in this house. And you're like, I got this. So you've been hanging out at Sherwin-Williams a lot, and now you're going to paint your own house.
Yep.
Okay, so just a quick recap. First things first, you want to check on your credit score. So I'm all about Credit Karma, but you just said...
I would just call the lender. I mean, I would go pick out... You interview lenders. You'll be shocked. Start with Connie first. And then just talk, and they'll pull your credit, they'll give you some advice on credit, and then it's easier. It's going to be easier.
I agree. Okay. And then, so while you're checking to your lender, you're going to want to evaluate your budget, and you're going to want to choose your loan type.
Yes.
And a good quality lender is going to be able to kind of walk through with you and be like, man, this is really the best loan for you, or, this would be good. So if I've got 20% down, I really want a conventional loan because I don't want to have PMI.
So I'm going to tell you what I'm doing because we have a minute. So I did a weird business change last year, which disqualifies me from purchasing a home on the secondary market. And so I will actually have to sell my home before I can purchase a home and run everything under my wife's credit, which we can do that, and she can afford the new house on her own. So I'm going to have to get a commercial construction style loan to purchase my home until I sell my house, and then my house is an unconventional style home, so I actually have to do some modifications so that it will add some windows and so that it will qualify as a secondary market loan, so I can get that 2.5% interest rate instead of 5% interest rate.
Right.
So
Awesome.
So yes, so talking to a bank, they can open up all your options. So
Definitely. So save.
yes,
And then hopefully we'll be ready to shop.
you should call an agent,
Yeah, me,
Call Kindra.
580-216-0090.
or you can call me 580-334-2303. But I was trying to read
Oh,
this
you
note.
forgot your number. Let me say that again. 580-334-2303 for Brian. And we'd be happy to talk to you about
Yep.
this.
And we did
And give
land-
you contacts for
right.
the lenders and all those kinds of things.
We've been pretty busy, but we landed another agent
Yeah.
to help us out, kind of in training. So Cassie Dominguez, if you haven't seen that out there.
Bilingual. This is going to be fun.
We're gonna have a good time, and so we've got extra help. So we're ready to go sell you a home. Give us a
All
shout.
right. See you next time.
Your new favorite, Classic Hits 107.3 KLSI Moreland Woodward. Tell a friend.